Hey guys, welcome back to Diesel Plays Ark. Thank you all so much for tuning in to me and to all my subscribers. That's right guys, thank you all so much for your support and your kind words, subscriptions, likes and comments. And you know what, I promised you guys that I will actually be doing a 5,000 subscriber video special, but we have already reached 6,200. But nevertheless guys, we are still going to do it, and I am going to answer your questions today. That's right, we made a few videos and a bunch of guys actually commented and asking me to test this out and show them whether this works better than that. So I have taken up a few questions and we will be looking at them. For those guys who have not, and if you really like the video, remember to smash the sub, like and leave a comment behind. And without further ado, let's get to it guys. So first up, Hillary Frank, she said, "You tame the dodo for the eggs." This was in one of the most controversial videos I have ever made, that people came out and they totally disagreed with my top 7 don't bother taming list. So a lot of them actually said that you should tame up dodos for their eggs. So do you really need to? Let's take a look at it guys. For food stat, the dodo egg gives you 20 and the cooked meat gives you the same. However, the prime meat and lamb chops give you 35. In terms of weight, 10 dodo eggs weigh 30, and for all the other meats, 10 meat each weighs 1. However, for spoil time, the dodo egg takes about 7 days, the cooked meat takes about 5 minutes, the cooked prime meat 42 minutes, and the cooked lamb chop an hour. If you guys ask me after this which one I will go for, I would definitely still go for cooked prime meat, because you know it's not really expensive or difficult to get like the lamb chops, whereby you have to kill the ovis, which are pretty rare. At the same time, it doesn't weigh as much as a dodo egg, so that is still the direction that I would be taking. Marksman24444 said, "Yo Diesel, could you do a video on the knockout effect that the squid has, like some stats on how long it takes to knock out different sea creatures and maybe the Spino?" Let's take a look at it guys. I went ahead and I downloaded this mod called the Health Bus and Torpor Bus version 2. It actually shows you the health and the torpor of all the dinos. So I thought that it will be a great addition so that we can actually test out the torpor infliction for the Tosotuses on the various sea dinos. So we tested out on the Megalodon all the way to the Mosasaur, and also even included the Spino into the equation. The Megalodon took about 10 minutes and the rest of the dinos are as shown down here. All the dinos were level 100 and I used a level 150 Tuzotuses with 284.6 melee damage to check out the knockout time. And after that, I went one step ahead and actually pumped in 5 stats into the melee damage of the Tuzotuses to see if it actually affects the knockout time, but apparently it doesn't. It still gave the same amount of knockout time as it was before. So another interesting fact is that the Spino actually starts to lose health once his torpor is totally up and he is unconscious underwater. And the Tusotusis is not able to inflict any torpor on the dolphin. I wonder why. Chris Wilson asked, "How about the T-Rex stamina consumption is good?" We're not gonna say such words in Diesel Plays Ark guys, but nevertheless I thought that it is actually a great test that should be conducted. This was actually a question or a comment that was actually posted in my T-Rex versus Spino video. So let's check it out. How does the T-Rex stamina fare against the Spino? We took a T-Rex with 588.8 and a Spino with 770.0 stamina, and the T-Rex took 15 seconds to fully deplete its stamina while the Spino took 40 seconds. When we do a quick math, you will realize that the T-Rex consumes 39.25 stamina per second while the Spino only consumes 19.25 stamina per second. Just goes to show that the T-Rex consumes more than twice that of an amount for stamina as compared to the Spino. Priscano asked, can you verify if the tech armor can damage turrets and how much it would take to knock someone out wearing a full set at a base fortitude versus base melee? So for the base fortitude and the base melee, it doesn't work that way for the tech armor, because the tech armor doesn't actually give you torpor when you actually hit someone. It kind of like damages you, and my boy Xplot actually did this experiment on his channel. I'm gonna link it for you guys so that you can actually go and see how much of damage how much of damage you actually take from getting hit with someone in the tech armor, you know, the super punch and also the flying thrust or something along those way, the tech armor stuff. But can the tech armor damage turrets? Let's take a look at it right now. The Tech Rex Saddle, Tech Rifle, and the Tech Armor Punch do not damage the auto turrets, although they still do damage the other manual turrets. Take a look at the results yourself, guys. So Drew Troy asked, how much does the Tech Rex Saddle reduce damage? That's what really matters to me. If my Mastercraft Rex Saddle has more armor, then it's not worth the resources for the Tech Rex, in my opinion. Let's take a look at it, guys. The Tech Rex Saddle gives 45 armor. For that, it actually took 38 damage per bite from another T-Rex. Thereafter, I went and changed the Tech Rex Saddle into a Mastercraft Saddle, which had 84.6 armor. The dino then took 24 damage per bite. If you do a quick calculation, you realize that per armor, it actually protects you against 0.35 damage. So if you want to know if your Mastercraft armor is better than your Tech Saddle armor, you can actually do the math. Nuclear Monkey, I really like this nickname down here. He asked, Diesel Blaze, you should do a test and see how the Direwolf compares to the Saber and Hatchet. What he actually means is that in terms of pelt collection. So let's take a look at it, guys. Respondent 3 level 12 Mammoth and a Direwolf and Saber. Try to get the melee damage of the Direwolf and Saber as close as I can, because it's really difficult to really get a perfect figure out of both of them. The Direwolf had a melee damage of 494.9 and the Saber had a melee damage of 494.1. The Direwolf at the end of the day got 105 pelt from the 3 Mammoth, the Saber got 110, and the Hatchet 102. So after this test, I realized that they're all pretty close when it comes to pelt collection. The next video is actually on the gathering of organic polymer. I actually tested out with the clubs, sword, Direwolf, and even the Moshaws, but I totally forgot about the Pelagones, and Swag asked me, why didn't you try the Pelagones? So we're gonna do that right now, guys. So I got myself a Pelagones and I went on a hunting mission for adult Kairukus so that I can get the test as fair as possible, because baby Kairukus give you more organic polymer So to get it on the same baseline as my previous test for the previous video that you guys can actually look at the table right here, I did a test on adult Cariocus. So the Pelagonus in terms of polymer collection came on par with the Direwolf. It didn't vary that much. The most jobs with Wild Date Kairuku actually collected more, similar to that of the sword and the club. So after that, I actually thought that maybe the damage of the Pelagonus is not high enough. I went in, pumped in more stats into the melee damage of the Pelagonus, and the results didn't vary at all. And then Eric D asked me, "Hi Diesel, what about the Scissorhand guy Terezino? A comparison between the Terezino and the most jobs with the same amount of skill points spent in harvesting delicate resources or polymer and same amount of melee percentage would be nice to know which one would win. I already know the Terezino is really good when harvesting with the right click when mounted with skill points spent on delicate resources, but I didn't know if they are better when riderless, and I would like to know if it would compare or be better. It says in the wiki it's the best. Dinosaur at gathering it. Hope you can answer, thanks. Let's check it out, guys. This is great because it actually follows up from the previous video. So the Therizinosaurus's damage that we had was 171.1. The most jobs had a damage of 171.8. That's the closest I actually could get. And thereafter I actually pumped in 4 levels into the delicate farming for the Therizinosaurus and 4 levels into polymer farming for the most jobs. On average, the most jobs collected 4 to 9 polymer from dead adult Cariocus. And for dead adult Cariocus, the Therizinosaurus only collected 2 to 3 organic polymer. So the part if the Therizinosaurus collects organic polymer better when you dismount him, it seems that the Therizinosaurus does not collect organic polymer when he is not mounted. I know a whole bunch of you guys love the Therizinosaurus, but like what I said before, the Terry is a jack of trades. It's not really a master of one. You can actually try to improve it a little bit in terms of delicate farming or wood collection and even meat collection, but he is really not the best when it comes to those kind of specific roles. And this one, Jasper Games have been asking me in a few videos, die video. So this is how you make dye, buddy. So to make dye, you will first need cooking pot, either a water jar, water skin, or a water canteen which is full, thatch, and the berries that you actually want the color from. And also, depending on the type of color you need, you'll either need charcoal or spark powder. The reason why I try to use thatch and instead of spark powder or wood is because wood will give you charcoal and spark powder will actually give you a different color at a certain time. So it's important that you guys realize this and use thatch instead. And of course, a quick reference chart to get all the colors. Lastly, David Dude, your vids are great. I don't understand your profile pic though. He actually mentioned this or actually posted this comment when I was actually using my older profile picture whereby, one of those sexy girls will actually be lying on the ground. So the story behind this was that that was the very first server that I was actually playing on. It was an official PvP when I was actually staying over in Europe, and I had this really close buddy from Ukraine, and we used to play every day together. And we were pretty strong at the moment of time. And one day it was the first major offline raid that we got, and we lost every single thing, and that is how I actually found him. And I thought that for memory's sake, I'll actually keep that picture of mine, and over time I kind of like liked it and it became my profile picture. So that's the story about it. Alright folks, thank you all so much for tuning in to this episode. I really hope that I have answered most of your questions, and I will do the same video when we reach 10,000 subscribers. And there are also a bunch of you guys have been asking me that, hey Diesel, where are you from? How old are you? And stuff like that. Maybe when I reach 10,000 subscribers, I will reveal more of myself, or even show myself through a webcam or something. Alright guys, for those guys who like the video, remember to smash the subscribe button if you have not yet, and also of course smash the bell beside the subscribe button so that you guys join the notification squad. Leave your likes and your comments behind. And just a final advice, for not to say advice, what do you actually call it? Friendly advice? I don't know, something really nice. For all those guys who are starting out ARK or starting out streaming YouTube, just do not give up, guys. You know, a lot of you guys have been commenting on my videos stating that, hey Diesel, check my video out. I just started playing ARK, I just started playing games. Don't worry if you have only 15 subscribers, 20, or even 100 subscribers. I started out with 90 subscribers last December, and because of awesome subscribers that I have, we have already reached 6,500 subscribers right now. So just don't give up, guys. Just don't give up. Keep on going. And if you guys need any help, I would be more than happy to do it. Till next time, take care and goodbye, guys.